How's it going, guys? So tonight we've got the fight coming up between Vasyl Lomachenko and Nicholas Walters. It's going to be a very interesting fight, very good fight. I have a prediction up for this fight already. I uploaded it a few weeks ago, where I predicted that I believe Vasyl Lomachenko was going to win this fight by unanimous decision, and I do feel, even as I make this video, that that is a very likely result of this fight. However, as the fight's gotten closer, I don't think that that's an inevitable result. I do think that Nicholas Walters certainly has a puncher's chance. I've been looking at Nicholas Walters' most recent training footage, and I have to say, I'm very impressed what I've been seeing. Nicholas Walters looks very sharp. He looks very strong. Looks to be more energetic than I've seen him before. I was never really that impressed with Nicholas Walters. When I watched the build up before the Nonito Donaire fight, I remember watching some of his training footage then, and I remember, just going back and watching some of his fights. I really wasn't that impressive. He really seemed to me like to be a very rudimentary fighter. A little bit basic, a little bit crude, but I think he has improved a lot since then. And although he didn't win his fight was a draw. Officially, the majority of people thought he won, but it was competitive and it got scored a draw. I do think he's improved. I think he's more energetic than he was back then. I mean, as I said in his most recent training footage, he just looks very sharp to me, and he looks very confident. Throwing some nice counters. Good head movement on the pads. Very good on the bag. Seems to be hitting harder than before. And I just think he looks very well prepared. He looks up for this fight. He really does. I can usually tell before a fight by looking at training footage and the body language of certain fighters. I usually can tell who's confident and who's not, and that's served me pretty well. If you go and look at my other videos, I said before the Nathan Cleverly Tony Bellew fight that even though I feel that sorry, not the Cleverly Bellew fight, the Cleverly Bramer fight. I said before that fight that even though I believe Bramer is by far the better boxer, by far the better technician, just better in every department, I had a feeling he was going to lose. I made a video the day before the fight with my final thoughts saying I had a feeling that he was going to lose because of how confident and how energetic that Nathan Cleverly looked. So I actually changed my prediction. The videos are still up. You can go see it now. I'm not changing my prediction here. I am still picking Vasyl Lomachenko. I'm just pointing it out that I would not be surprised if Nicholas Walters was able to somehow drag Lomachenko into a fight because Nicholas Walters, he looks very well up for this. He's very strong. He's the bigger man in there. Okay, don't get it twisted. Okay, he's gonna rehydrate. He is considerably bigger than Lomachenko in terms of his reach too. So, maybe if he needs to take a break on the outside, he will have his reach. Now, one thing I will say though is I think Lomachenko will be able to deal with the reach because I've watched quite a lot of Lomachenko's amateur fights, and Lomachenko to me, he's fought a lot of opponents that had a lot longer reaches than him, and he was able to deal with it. He was able to negate that reach by simply using speed. A lot of trainers will tell you that speed beats size. Trainers like Freddie Roach, for example, will tell you this. Manny Pacquiao was able to get the better of taller opponents like Margarito and Chris Algieri because he had the better speed. He was just so much faster than these guys. He would get in and out, and these guys would have to try and reach to try and punch him, and that would make them overextend, which means that he can get on the inside of that reach, and he'll be able to bully these guys and get in and out with quick, fast movements. And I think that Lomachenko is very similar to Pacquiao in that sense. In fact, I think stylistically they are similar. It's just that I think that Lomachenko certainly has better fundamentals than Pacquiao, and that's obviously because Lomachenko is a very well schooled amateur, whereas Manny Pacquiao wasn't. He went into the pros at a very young age, and he was very crude. So Manny Pacquiao developed a more of a unpredictable, unorthodox style, whereas Lomachenko to me is just more. He's more. Just like I said, he's more well schooled, a little bit more conventional than Manny Pacquiao, but he's a fantastic fighter, Lomachenko, and I think he will be able to deal with the reach on the outside. But it is something he'll have to deal with because obviously, if you're planning to fight on the outside, if if you have the longer arms, it can be an advantage no matter what your style is, as long as you have a decent jab. And Nicholas Walters seems to have a decent jab. It's nothing special. It certainly doesn't match up to Lomachenko's jab, in my opinion. But we'll see how this one goes. It's an interesting matchup. I think that, like I said, as the fight gets closer, I'm excited for it because I think it is going to be explosive. I really think that in this fight, I think that both of these guys are going to take the initiative. Okay, I think this is going to be a fight where both guys want to make a statement. They really do because Nicholas Walters, a lot of people are saying he can't win. He's a big underdog for this fight, and rightfully so because he's facing a superior technician and a superior athlete too. So, he is going to come into this fight knowing that he has to really, really take the initiative to prove people wrong. He's going to be looking to really bang it out with Lomachenko. Just he's going to be trying to implement his straight right hand because I do think that for him to use that straight right hand in this fight is wise because even in the Rocky Martinez fight, Lomachenko did get caught a couple of times in the first two rounds with that straight right. It's just that Rocky Martinez didn't really have the power or the accuracy to really implement it in the fight and really make it cause any problems for Lomachenko. And as a result of that, Lomachenko just came forward and really wasn't intimidated by Martinez's power at all. But he's going to have to be a little bit more tactful against Walters because Walters is certainly a heck of a lot bigger puncher than Martinez. And Walters can go to the body too. He's a very effective body puncher, which is something that Martinez didn't really do in the fight. I think that Nicholas Walters will attack Lomachenko's body. I think he will attack it relentlessly, and I think that he'll fight in bursts. I don't really see him, going all out and just trying to pressure Lomachenko. I think he'll fight in bursts. He'll throw some hooks to the body, a shot to the head, then he'll back off. He'll throw a couple of jabs, and I think he'll be a little bit sporadic. And I think that but you never know, that could actually work to Lomachenko's favour because while he's doing that, while Walters is ducking low trying to get to the body, Lomachenko has some very good uppercuts that he likes to throw and he throws them in combinations. I mean, it was the left uppercut that set up the right hook that took out Martinez. So, clearly Lomachenko, he has maybe all bases covered here. You never know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting fight. I'm excited for it. I'm a big fan of both of these guys. They're both entertaining fighters. They both like to put on a show. Lomachenko is a classy boxer, but at the same time, he throws a lot of punches and he takes risks in the ring. I mean, that was evidence from his last fight, and even against Gary Russell Jr., who was a guy who was known for being a very slick, fast boxer with a lot of hand speed. One of the fastest boxers in the game. Lomachenko was able to take the initiative, be the aggressor, and systematically outbox the faster fighter that way over 12 rounds. And let me just point one thing out. Don't be fooled by the close scores of that fight. That was not a close fight. Okay, Lomachenko dominated that fight. He won almost every round, in my opinion, of that fight. And obviously, I've seen a few people mention that Nicholas Walters could probably emulate what Salido did, but let's be honest. What Salido did was he overpowered Lomachenko with coming in overweight and becoming a real bully in the fight, using illegal tactics, veteran tactics against the guy that was only in his second professional fight, a guy that had only had 4 rounds as a professional. So, I mean, the gap in experience at the time between Salido, who was a defending world champion, who obviously got stripped of his belt for coming in overweight, and that was a deliberate tactic to give him an advantage in the fight, with him facing a guy in his second professional fight. I mean, even being an Olympic gold medalist and whatnot, did you really expect Lomachenko to win that fight? I know I didn't, and in fact, he did a lot better than I expected. So yeah, this is gonna be a good fight. I'm still favouring Lomachenko on points, but I just don't know. It's going to be interesting. Walter certainly is with a shot, a knockout victory, or even a decision victory for either guy would not surprise me here. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to go with with Lomachenko by decision. Sorry guys, it's early and I'm getting muddled up here. Yeah, Lomachenko by decision. But it wouldn't surprise me if I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.